Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. It's great to see you again. Today I'm going to be teaching you how you can learn an introduction to leader stats. I've already made a video like this, but today I thought I'll do it again, but explain it in more depth. It is very easy and take a minimal amount of time, so you should be able to master this very quickly. So sit up and let's get ready to code. Okay, so guys, to begin, what I've just done is I've opened a blank base plate with nothing in it other than a spawn point. Okay, so to begin, it's extremely simple. We're going to go up to here and we're going to insert a part into the workspace. And this part, we can just scale it up because later on, we want to be able to interact with this part. So just scale it up, just like that, and then that is fine. And then we can just take rid of cast shadow, make it look like that, or we can leave it on. It's your preference. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to insert a script into the workspace, just like that. Script, and we are going to name this LEADERSTATS script. Okay, here we are, the script, and this is where we can start to make the leader stats. And from here, it's nothing but easy, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it. It's extremely simple, so let's go ahead and begin. So to start, we're going to do game.players.playerAdded : connect to the function parameter player. And you might be wondering, what does any of this mean? Well, I've actually devoted a slide for you guys so I can fully explain this. Okay, so as you can see, we are actually in the we're in the Jamboard, Google Jamboard, and as you can see, I've just written out the code right there. So let me start explaining. So first of all, we have players, which is right here. Players is a service to use in Roblox Studio. So let me give you an example of other services. We've got workspace, replicate storage, starter character script. Those are all services, and players falls into that as well. So using this dot just means we're going to go inside of something. So we're going to go game, we're going to go inside of the game, we're going to go to players, and we're going to go inside of the players, and we're going to go to player added. Player added is a function, and it's quite self-explanatory but via the name player added. So this function is you do game.players.player added. You would go down, and in that gap of code that you have, you would write whatever you want to happen. So you'd write this, and then inside of the between the end and this line of code right here, you would write what you want to happen. Okay, next we have the connect. This is literally just connecting the function we're pretty much connecting a function to a function. We're saying that we want to connect this to this so we can turn this into a proper function that we can use in game. Here we have function, and this is just creating a function like I said. And last of all, we have player, and the player is the parameter which we're going to use later on. So altogether, game.players.playerAdded : connect to function player. This is just saying that every single player added, we want to do this, but we can change this in the script. So let me show you. As you can see, we've got an end here, and we've got the line of code here. So everything we put in here, for example, everything we put in there, it will happen every time a player is added. So that's what I meant by quite self-explanatory. Okay, so to begin, we're going to do local LEADERSTATS. And this is very important. You have to make sure you spell it LEADERSTATS, all lowercase. And we're going to make this equal to instance.new. I'm going to go into this later. And we're going to do two parentheses. And inside, we're going to put folder. And then we're going to do a comma. We're going to put player. And that's where our parameter links in from earlier. Underneath that, we're going to do LEADERSTATS from the variable we made. .name is equal to quotation marks LEADERSTATS, and make sure you put it all in lowercase, just like that. LEADERSTATS, otherwise it will not work. Now, once again, you're probably wondering, what is instance.new? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it before. Well, once again, I've created a slide so I can explain it to you. Here we are in the Jamboard right here, Google Jamboard. So to begin, I've just put a post-it note up here. Instance.new is saying what it is. So instance.new is actually very simple. Instance.new is used to create new things. Instead of going into the workspace and inserting a part, you can insert a part. This is how you can insert a part via the script. So to begin, you make a variable for it. And I've just done local I standing for instance. So just like that, we've got variable name here. Now we've got instance.new. This is a sentence we use to initialize instance. So we use instance.new to make it, and every time you write instance.new, two brackets will come along with it, and that's where you can put your stuff inside. Now the stuff inside, you're probably wondering, well, folder and player, well, I don't know what that means. Well, folder is what do we want to create. So let's say I wanted to create a part. We would do instance.new brackets in quotation marks part, and then we have to set the parent because we want the part to show up in the workspace. Because if we don't put the parent, then it will just show up. It will just show up in replicated storage, and that's not going to be visible to us. So folder is where we want to, what do we want to create? So in this case, I want to create a folder to store the points in, and the next one is the parent. So where do we store it inside, which is the parent. So that is quickly a quick rundown of instance.new. Helps you create new things, helps you create a folder or a part, helps you create anything. It's actually got the whole library in there, so you can literally, the world is your oyster, pretty much. So let's go back to the code. Having that out of the way, we can now continue, and we can do the same thing for the points. We're going to do local points is equal to instance.new, two brackets. We're gonna create int value, and int value is an integer value, and an integer is pretty much only whole numbers. A number value would be any number, so like 7.25, 100.777, 92.3 recurring, something like that. But this is an int value, so this is only integers. An integer is only a whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no decimals. But in programming, we call that float. If we have a, I can't think. If we have a, oh my gosh, if we have something that has decimals in it, we call that a float value. Okay, so next to carry on, we're gonna do the parent, and as I said before, the first thing we put in the bracket is what we want to create, and then we're gonna put a comma to separate them, and then the second thing is a parent, and the parent is gonna be LEADERSTATS. You're wondering why? Well, the reason we're making it LEADERSTATS is because we want to store the points inside the folder. So in this case, we're storing the points inside the folder, but we put LEADERSTATS because that's the name of our variable. So the folder is called LEADERSTATS, and we're putting the points inside the folder, which is LEADERSTATS. That was extremely confusing. All right, so now we need to create the name for the points. This is what's going to display on the screen. So I'm just going to say points.name is equal to $. Right, so you're wondering, like, well, why do we have points there and dollars there? Well, points is just a bit of a placeholder, so we know what we're going to put there, but the name dollars is actually what's going to show on the screen. Now we need to do the starting value, so we're going to do points.value is equal to, and you can change this number to whatever you want. So whatever value you want to start at, it doesn't really matter. So for example, I'm going to start at 10. And just like that, we have our LEADERSTATS. And do you see how easy that was? Do you see how easy that was? I told you it would be so easy. Right, so now we can go on to actually creating a click detector. And you're wondering what a click detector is? A click detector is pretty much, I'm not going to do another Jamboard because that would probably just bore you to death. But a click detector is, for example, we walk up to the part, a cursor will appear, we click on it, and something will happen. So let's just do this. Inside of the part, we're just going to name this, let's just name it click detector part. Inside of the part, we're going to put a click detector, and as you can see, it's already suggested, as it says it's... Okay, so inside of the click detector, we're going to put a script, and this script will pretty much contain what we want to happen when we touch the click detector. Now we're going to call this script dollars giver, because pretty much what we're going to be putting in here is what I'm thinking is every time we touch the part, we get 1 point or something like that. Okay, we're gonna do, so to begin, we're gonna do script dot parent dot click detector dot click. Have I done this wrong? I think I've done this wrong. Script dot parent dot click detector. Actually, no, we don't need to do script dot parent dot click detector. We just need to do script dot parent. So script dot parent dot mouse. No. That's right. No. Wait, what? Script dot parent. Oh yeah, here we go. Script dot parent dot mouse click colon connect to the function of player. Once again, we have the same parameter, and in here we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna do local. Okay, so I've done it right now. I just got a bit confused. What we're doing here is, what we're doing here is we're saying local player points is equal to player.leaderstats.points, which we did from the last script. So this is pretty much a shortcut for that, player.leaderstats.point. And what we're saying here is every time we click the part, the value of the value of the points is going to go up by 1. And you're probably wondering, well, why are we making it equal to itself? Well, the reason for that is because we don't just want to put it once, because if we put it once, then it just won't work. So what we're saying is the player points dot value is equal to the points plus 1. So now we're saying that the value of the points is equal to the points that we have already plus 1. Because if we just did plus 1, player points dot value plus 1, it would just go from 0 to 1. So doing this, we can look at the, actually no, my mistake. If we just do player points dot value plus 1, then it'll go from 8, and it will just keep on going from 8 every single time, and it won't register that you have gained any points. But doing this, it has a look at your points value that you have so far, and it adds 1 to it. Let's say I have 15 points, and I touch this part, I'm going to have 16 points. So now that we have done that, I think we're done. So we can go ahead and test it out, guys. Before you test it, I just realized the mistake. I actually just tested it out and it didn't work because I did player.leaderstats.points. Make sure you don't put it as a variable. Make sure you put it as the name of your currency. So if you did points.name is equal to dollars, make sure you do player.leaderstats.dollars. Don't do player.leaderstats.point. Say vice versa. If you do points.name is equal to points, keep it as player.leaderstats.points. So let's go again. If we go ahead and go play the game and we click on it, as you can see in the top right over here, we are going up by points every time I click it. So listen to my mouse. Look. And as you can see, we're going up by points at the same time, which is extremely cool. Hopefully you can add to this in whatever way you like. So maybe like some sort of pop-up saying your name gained 1 point or something like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this lesson you learned what I intended to teach you, and I hope you got a firm understanding of instance.new and the player added function. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.